Either way, as you guys know, I'm Chris. I'm the host of the MeterUp series, and I'm joined by a very special guest today. And we are very happy to be doing some work with them and officially partner with UTU. And I want everyone to say hello and thank you so much for your time, Mike. Thank you for joining us, Mike Chen.
I appreciate it. What's up, Materians and Utu Trust Guardians?
Yeah, definitely. So we are looking forward to the conversation. Obviously, it's going to be a good opportunity for everybody involved with both projects to learn probably a little bit more about each project. We're really not going to spend too much time talking about Meter today. That's not what this episode is all about. This episode is going to be learning a little bit more about what Utu has going on, hearing a little bit about yourself and the project, and then, of course, a little bit more about our relationship together. I think is really important for people to understand some of the benefits that Meter can bring and is bringing to a project like Utu, and of course with other partnerships to come. So before we jump into all that, maybe you could just give us a little personal intro about you and a little bit about the project, Mike, if you don't mind.
Sure. So a little bit about myself. Mike, I live here in Washington, D.C., got a wife, a daughter who's her birthday today. So happy birthday, Maya.
Happy birthday, Maya.
And my career-wise, I've had a pretty windy career. Was started out in management consulting, then went to business school to get into sports business, which brought me to DC to work with the pro hockey team, the Washington Capitals. Was there for about 5 years, and then just got the itch to jump into tech startups and entrepreneurship. So I've been doing that in some capacity over the last decade or so. Created and launched 3 startups and a consulting firm, and getting into crypto. I bought my first Bitcoin in 2013, and obviously, like many others, wish I bought more back then. But then, that kind of got the flywheel starting and got the things moving in my head about what cryptocurrency is and what it can become. And then just really in the last 3 or so years, really jumped in full force in working in the industry, and worked for an crypto education company, worked for a wallet company, doing some consulting here and there. Worked with Meter for a little while, and appreciate, thanks Shahan for that opportunity. And now I'm with Utu. And what we're doing is we're building and pioneering new models of digital trust to help online businesses and consumers engage and transact in an easier, more trustworthy way. And our mission is to really increase trust across the entire internet. So if you think about online trust now, there's a lot of these random reviews and ratings. A lot of them are fake. And other trust mechanisms. Sometimes businesses have to trust their consumers, especially in the financial sector, where there's loans and credit scoring. Those models are very centralized, outdated. They don't take into account the majority of citizens around the globe that are in very different positions than someone like you or me, Chris, where we live here in the U.S. We have very formal banking history and credit history. And we're just asked to trust in a very different way online than we are in real life. So we're changing that at UTU. So what does that mean? We have a bunch of API products that we sell to businesses to incorporate into their apps that replaces these typical rating and review tools, but we layer on a lot of artificial intelligence to do a lot of dynamic data gathering, and also being able to leverage social data to create connections between users for more personalized contextual recommendations. So, for example, let's say you're looking for a developer for your project. You go to a freelancing site. Instead of looking at just a bunch of star ratings and reviews, you may be able, using our tool, if we're integrated into that site, you may be able to see which LinkedIn connections worked with specific developers, and then be able to get served those recommendations, because you may trust people in your LinkedIn network who trust the developer, thus you will trust that developer. So something that really much more the way we trust in real life than we are asked to trust online. We're also releasing a creditworthiness API. I mentioned credit scoring. Much better, much more customizable model of credit scoring. So this will help traditional and DeFi lenders provide under collateralized loans, because they're able to better assess the creditworthiness of their potential borrowers. So that's kind of the B2B side. And then we have the UTU protocol that kind of powers all of this. So it's a new economic system that allows users to get compensated for trustworthy actions. So for providing ratings and reviews that are accurate. Also compensates them for sharing their data with the protocol, so our models can improve. So if you see our products, the B2B products and the protocol working together, you kind of see this new economic system based on trust. The users can use businesses' products, rate, review them, they get rewarded for that. Then these products can get recommended to the people in their network. They use the business's products, and you see this nice virtuous cycle of trust that builds based on our protocol and our economy. So that's kind of a mouthful, but there's a lot going on there, and but really our mission is to be able to trust more online the way we trust in the real world, and increase trust across all the internet.
Yeah, and I think that's just such an important topic these days, with more and more things increasingly moving in that direction of everything going online, everything becoming more digital. Obviously, we're seeing that be sped up with things like this pandemic, even, where everybody's more isolated, everybody's more inside, and we see a huge need in the marketplace for services like that. So I think that's obviously going to be something that's really exciting, something to look forward to. If you don't mind a little bit, Mike, maybe you can just elaborate just a tad on some of the roadmap of what you guys are planning on accomplishing, and maybe some things that you plan on rolling out here in the coming months.
Sure. So just recently in April, we launched our core API, which is this the ratings, reviews, social recommendations, and that's really like the foundation of everything that we're building. Is that those AI models and those social trust models. Very soon, we are coming out with our what we're calling the FinTrust API, which is our creditworthiness API. So this is where that social trust model will be integrated into credit scoring systems, and those it'll be able to much more dynamically assess creditworthiness of potential borrowers for traditional finance as well as DeFi platforms, and we, building on that, we have other SDKs, expanding those to other platforms like Android, iOS, and towards the end of the second quarter, beginning of the third quarter, we're going to be launching the testnet of our protocol. So this is where users will be able to provide their ratings and reviews and get compensated for that. And mainnet looking to launch towards the end of Q3. And we've got a lot of really important partnerships coming up that we can't say anything about right now, but we will be able to. We're really going to be integrating into some really big platforms to be able to increase trust in those platforms and be able to really kind of build that economy, help their platforms operate under a higher level of trust, as well as grow our ecosystem and be able to have a lot of users. More and more users use our ecosystem to grow that and get more compensated for their trustworthy actions. So a lot coming up, so definitely look out for that.
Yeah, I think that all sounds like you guys are obviously moving in a direction where you're going to be integrating some important ideas like trust, getting that involved with the end user people. I mean, it's such a big problem. If anybody who's watching right now, if you don't understand how big of a problem trust is in the digital age, man, it's huge. Ask any business owner who's tried to operate on Amazon, or dealing with reviews or fake reviews or bots, or all these things that can really come about and really hamper those people that we spend a lot of time as a society talking about wanting to prop up good businesses, wanting to reward the people who are doing things the right way. And it sounds like this is definitely going to be an opportunity for people to get rewarded for participating in a system that's really going to allow the right people to flourish and earn that trust. That is, not such an easy thing to do.
Yep, absolutely right. There's a lot of poor purchase decisions that are made because of mistrust. There's a lot of businesses that get hurt because of fake reviews, and there's also, on kind of on that finance side, there's a lot of people who may be trustworthy and need loans for their business, but they don't have a lot of that traditional credit background that many times is required to get loans. So all of that really, just that vein of being able to trust the people that you are engaging with, that you're working with, that you're purchasing from or you're selling to, is the problem that we're trying to solve.
Fantastic. And I know you did touch on for a second there. Obviously, we're not going to be trying to pry for details. I'm sure they'll all be coming out when it comes to your partnerships. But one big partnership that has been announced is the partnership between Meter and UTU. And, obviously, we have a lot in the pipeline as well. We just announced another partnership earlier this week. And we have a few more that are going to be rolling out. Obviously, we're in talks with plenty of different entities that want to utilize our services. Maybe you can elaborate a little bit on some of the benefits that is really coming to UTU just by partnering with something like Meter, and what Meter is really bringing to the table for you guys.
Sure. This is probably one of the easiest partnerships we made, with the relationship that I've had with Xiaohan and working together. So it made a lot of sense. So one of the things that you are obviously building is this whole cross-chain interoperability ecosystem. And, we've a lot of our community members, they're not alone in that Uniswap fees and ETH fees were just absolutely crushing them, and it really hampering a lot of the growth that we could potentially see. Mm-hmm. So one of the things was listing on a faster, lower fee chain, and BSC came a lot, Binance Smart Chain. And Xiaohan, they were building the cross chain for that. So that was one very nice way that we could work together, where we used Meter Passport to bridge UTU coin from Ethereum to BSC, and we just listed on a Binance Smart Chain PancakeSwap today. And that bridge for UTU holders on Ethereum to BSC is now live. So that's certainly one short-term important part of the partnership. A little longer term is, we're Meter. You're building a very robust DeFi ecosystem on your chain, and we're looking to develop our trust infrastructure for DeFi apps that are built on Meter. So if you are developers are building lending apps, we can use our Trust API or our creditworthiness API to facilitate those under collateralized loans. For any marketplaces that get built on Meter, you could use our core Trust API to increase trust between the P2P users on those platforms. And of course, going back to the cross-chain, we definitely have plans to go across to Polkadot, and we've partnered with other chains as well. But if you look at Polkadot, Avalanche, all the major chains, Elrond, Harmony, we partner with Oasis. Meter is definitely going to be a core partner in that sense, because you're building out such a nice cross-chain ecosystem there. So definitely a lot of ways that we can work together, both on the cross-chain interoperability as well as on the DeFi front. So one more that I forgot about was using our core API to check out, to look at the trust of your validators. I know staking is a very important part of Meter, and myself, I'm staking on there too. Nice. You're not really sure which validator to use, so we can help kind of put together a kind of trust score for those validators to make that choice easier.
That's fantastic, and we love to hear stuff like that, obviously. once again, to reiterate, we of course have want to be providing those services to a lot of projects that are kind of feeling that squeeze. Unfortunately, we can't control what's going on with these validators and the systems on Ethereum. And I think this week in particular, we've seen some pretty negative side effects of however you'd like to classify it. But those gas fees have been out of control. I saw some as high as $300 just to make a transaction. So we're very excited to be able to be alleviating some of these problems, bridging some. Obviously a project like UTU has a ton of potential, and be a part of your growth. I mean, we're really looking forward to that and being able to provide those opportunities to a lot of projects that need it. There's some exciting stuff in both of our pipelines right now. I'm really looking forward to it.
Definitely, yeah, same here.
All right, fantastic. And in closing, I think, is there anything else you'd like to touch on before we kind of wrap things up and give some final remarks on the conversation that we've been able to have?
No, I just think that it's, I touched on it before, is that there's a very natural partnership here, and of course, I love what you're building over there, and I think it's very important. I think within maybe in really short term, everything is going to go cross chain, and I think the UX is going to be very, very important for the end users to be able to do that. And of course, what's going on in the back end has to work. I think the approach that the Meter's taking is very impressive. And I think that's something that's always on our mind as well. So we have to always align ourselves with the best projects and the best teams. So that's definitely why we have partnered with Meter.
Of course, and obviously the feeling is very mutual. We're very much so looking forward to seeing the type of value that you guys can bring to the marketplace. Obviously, we're going to be utilizing, like you mentioned, a couple use cases where Meter itself will be able to utilize some of your services. I'm really looking forward to just kind of strengthening that and bringing this it's a much needed space right now. With what both projects are really bringing to the table at this point, it is a pretty needed aspect to the marketplace at this point, and that's what I think gets me the most excited. Is I came into the space kind of similar to you, just getting involved as an investor, and I think there's a couple types of people in the world. There's the people that's they get involved in something, they look at something, they see a problem, and they complain. And they let it bring them down. They whatever they may do about it. But there's a second type of person, which is the type of person that maybe sees a problem, and they start thinking of ways to fix it, how they can contribute, how they can be part of the solution. And I love that both these projects are taking that approach, and both teams really taking on that mindset. So it's really good to hear, and we're thoroughly looking forward to continuously keep working with you guys.
Yeah, same here.
Fantastic. Well, other than that, community, we want to thank you so much for joining us. I know this was just a brief video on this one, but this is a really great opportunity to hear a little bit more about a great project like UTU. Do some research, of course, guys. Learn about it. Understand how it can bring value to you and what you're trying to accomplish in this space, and really start to learn that trust is a huge thing. Don't take it for granted. Don't just throw your money around. Make informed decisions and utilize platforms that are going to allow you to do that, like UTU. And we cannot be more excited about what the future holds for both our projects moving forward and how we can both benefit each other. So make sure to like, comment, subscribe, leave a comment down below, guys. Let us know what ideas that you may have for upcoming episodes. We have a contest coming up very soon. We should be rolling out at the end of the week here. That's going to be very exciting. Get some people involved in a few different ways with our social media channels. So make sure you check the links for those, because we will be giving out some rewards for all of that. And once again, Mike, I just want to say thank you so much for your time, because it was an absolute pleasure speaking with you.
Yeah, thanks, Chris. Thanks to all the Materians out there. Thanks for tuning in. And if you want to learn more about UTU, just join our Telegram and follow us on Twitter, and we'll be happy to answer any questions.
Fantastic. And we can set up those links as well on the video to make sure that anybody that's interested can easily and quickly get over to that. So once again, thank you all for your time.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Have a good one.